What's going on? We back, Goodfella Sports TV. We back up in this thing, man. Really want to do this video. Trying to get hyped up to this video, man. And hopefully I'll get back in that rhythm really soon. Shout out to everybody supporting what we're doing. Shout out to everybody that continue to watch the videos, continue to subscribe, and peace. All right. This is a really good video, man. Good topic I came upon. And Andre Ward, puts the list together of the top 10 bad habits for a fighter outside the ring. And, I missed this part of the screenshot, I believe, when he said that this is what separates fighters in elite fights. When you get to those 50-50 fights, when you get to those really elite fights, this is what separates fighters, the best fighter, and the guys that do the little things outside the ring. And Andre Ward being a true OG, he don't bring that hatred in that business promotional mentality that Bernard and Floyd, Roy Jones, he be hating as well. He's really neutral. He's really for the young fighters. He's a great ambassador, man, and a great guy to look up to and get knowledge from. Let's start off and see what he said exactly. He said, bad habits outside the ring. For any fighter 1 through 10, putting drugs or alcohol in your system, gaining 20 to 30 pounds in between fights, only training when you have fight coming up, believing your own hype. There's always more work to do. Loving the nightlife. Now, I'm glad that he came up with this, man. This spoke volumes. And they can't even say Andre Ward didn't live by these codes. They can't say Andre Ward is hating and don't want to see me to be the best fighter I can beat. Andre Ward legitimately doesn't have that attitude or that demeanor or that cockiness, that arrogance. He wants to see himself be surpassed in a boxing game. He's competitive. He don't have to come in and shut these young fighters down and let them know that he was better than them or he is still better than him. That's never been his MO. And the first thing is putting drugs and alcohol in your system. You know what I'm saying? I understand for the fighters that smoke marijuana, it's therapeutic, in the hurt business. I'm a promoter of, more research and more study for fighters and athletes, especially football players that's in contact sports, combat sports. Smoking weed is supposed to help. The right weed, not all this chemical stepped on or whatever they put in there, is supposed to help alleviate the pain. But anything else, cocaine or whatever these fighter drugs they use in Mali, I don't know all these drugs they be using these days. Alcohol is a killer, man. And Ray Allen, he hasn't had a cheeseburger since high school. He don't put nothing bad in his body. And you look at him, and that's how the longevity speaks for itself. You look at Floyd Mayweather, Bernard Hopkins. They took care of their body. They stayed in shape. They stayed around their fighting weight, and took care of themselves. LeBron James, you think LeBron James out there pouring up yak shots and Jägermeisters and smoking, stuff off the table? They take care of their body. What you put in your body, what your body will give you. All right? And gaining weight between fights, yeah, man, that's not cool, man. That's not good for your body. And I seen Richardson, old coach for Shane Mosley and Bernard Hopkins, said that when you go too far below your actual natural weight, when you start to just drain that fluid, them last few 10, 15, 5, 6, 7 pounds, 2 pounds out your body, that fluid comes from your brain. And when you got to drain fluid out of your brain, that's taking away hydration from the body. You dehydrating yourself. You dehydrating to the point where you're taking fluid out your brain. It ages the body, especially you taking a punishment on top of the head. It ages the body a lot, and it speeds the age process up. That's why you see a guy like James Toney talking like that. It wasn't because James Toney took a lot of punishment. James Toney was naturally a heavyweight at 205 pounds that squeezed down to middleweight, and him squeezing down to middleweight, killing himself to make 68, light heavyweight, whatever. He wasn't at his natural weight. So, naturally he turned into a tomato. A rotten tomato, because he was fighting so far behind his natural weight that his brain doesn't function as well because it doesn't have the proper hydration in it. Only training we have a fight coming up. This is something that I consistently talk about. Dominic Brazil was like, I'm still in the gym, every 5 days a week, just staying ready. You supposed to stay in the gym. You supposed to, fight. You supposed to stay sharp. You supposed to work out every day. Why you not fighting? There's no reason why you shouldn't be hitting the treadmill, walking the dog, hitting the bag 5 times a week, getting some sparring, some pad work. It's not a vacation. These dudes treat boxing like it's a chore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a chore, dog. And I can't respect that. Okay? Then, you continue, and he also said living a lifestyle outside the ring. Nightlife, yeah, man. You're not supposed to be out here partying and drinking and smoking Man, you need to be focused. You need to be at home studying film. I understand this. You got all this money, but think of it this way: when you go out and party and do all that stuff, you're gonna say when you spending money. If you sit at home with your family, just stay focused. Spend family time. You want to have a few people over, a few girls over, call them over to your crib, and everything could be Gucci. You save money. You don't need to be out here partying. You haven't achieved nothing. You haven't achieved nothing to be in a titty bar in a strip club eating hot wings and drinking. You haven't achieved nothing. None of these fighters in this boxing game have achieved the pinnacle of boxing. Nobody can say I'm like the real pound for pound champion. Nobody's the ambassador and synonymous with boxing like Roy Jones or Mayweather was in their heyday. But let's continue with the list. Believing you can't be beat. Anybody can get clipped. Having a bunch of people around you only gas you up, telling you what you want to hear. Laziness, pride, not allowing yourself to still be taught. Entitlement, nobody owes you anything. And we go through these rules. I'm gonna get to the really important ones in a minute. But believing that you can beat anybody, you can't be beat. Yeah, you're supposed to believe that. You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. You're supposed to believe that, but at the same time, you're supposed to, produce confidence, ooze confidence. I understand that. But at the end of the day, the fear is what drove Mike Tyson, the fear of losing. The fears what made him tough and bad. You always should have a fear in the back of your mind. You can't be beat. You're not invisible. One punch can change a fight. So I agree with him. That always should be on your mind. That always say you veering off, you getting lazy, you don't want to go to the gym, you don't want to work out. The fear of somebody whooping you should be in the back of your mind. Having a bunch of people around you gas you up, I get to that laziness. That's going back to the first one. Believing you can't be beat. Being lazy, half-assed. And every training camp should be performed. You should perform in like it's your last. You know what I'm saying? Every camp should be like it's my last camp. You should go hard. You should make the next camp better than the last camp. You know what I'm saying? You need to be, just proactive, busy, Pride, not allowing yourself to still be taught. Yeah, pride. There's fighters out here that go into these fights without a coach in their corner. What's his name? Birinov, the one that Bernard beat, that had the little eye surgery. You need a coach. Even Floyd Mayweather didn't feel comfortable when his daddy went in his corner versus Cotto and went back and got his daddy. You always can learn things. No fighter is perfect. Somebody always can teach you something. You don't know everything. And I can see that being a big problem. Entitlement. Nobody owes you anything. And that's a big one right there, too. We get back to entitlement and having a bunch of people to gas you up, telling you what you want to hear. Entitlement. That's very important because a lot of these fighters think they entitled not to things just in the ring or in the boxing world. A lot of these dudes think they entitled because they touch a couple 100,000 or a couple million. They think they're entitled to do whatever they want to do in this world. They think they're entitled to treat fans how they want to treat them, treat the media how they want to treat them. They really think these dudes are stars. And in the grand scheme of things, without boxing, you would be working at Kroger or Walmart or dead in jail, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Without boxing, you wouldn't be able to play football. A lot of these dudes too little to compete in any other sport. So forgetting where you came from is a big, big problem, acting like you entitled. Some of these dudes shouldn't feel entitled. They should be gracious that the sport of boxing is still relevant and still playing the best money ever paid before, because in the grand scheme of things, this type of boxing that they fighting right now, that they're competing in right now, shouldn't be worth the food stamp. They shouldn't be worth, there's a lot of these dudes shouldn't be worth getting a couple grand per fight. This cherry picking going on. You know what I'm saying? And then having a whole bunch of people gassing you up, man. That's a big one. Having a whole bunch of yes men. This is a lot of things that I have already touched on in the future. Like with Erickson Lubin, having a bunch of guys gassing you up, a bunch of guys, telling you can do it, and not telling you the truth. You see when Nassim Richardson interviewed about Bernard Hopkins, and he say that I tried to tell him you did everything in the sport but lose bad, and Bernard Hopkins got mad because he kept it 100 with him. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you that if you go in there fighting Joe Smith Jr. or anybody else, you're going to get knocked out. You did everything possible. And a lot of these dudes got all these yes men around them. Yes, 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 yes. And nobody keep it real. But when you keep it real with these guys, you keep it real with Floyd. Floyd going to cut you off. Floyd going to cut your money line off. So a lot of these dudes scared to keep it real. A lot of these dudes don't want real people in their ear. A lot of people don't want people that want the best for them. They want the people that's going to think they want the best, that's going to be yes men and agree with you. You don't need them people in your camp. You need people with real constructive criticism. Even if you got to get a guy off the street or one of the fans to tell you what they honestly think of you. You know what I'm saying? What you think about this guy fighting? Have you seen this fighter fight before? I think you should go to the body more and woo, 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 woo. You can't get mad. You got to respect it, man. Everybody have flaws, and everybody going to give you perspective. And you look at Erickson Lubin's situation, somebody should have told him he not ready. You know, I'm not no professional fighter. I'm not the greatest, to ever do it on YouTube or the greatest guy for eye at boxing. But I knew that man wasn't ready after fighting Jorge Cotto. He wasn't ready for Jermell Charlo. His coach knew it. If I knew it, his coach knew it. If his coach knew it, his manager knew it. You know what I'm saying? So having a whole bunch of peer pressure and yes men around you, not gonna help you. But I think this was the greatest thing that I've seen in boxing this year coming from an OG. It's been so much hate, so much siding with ducking, so much, guys taking foreigners' side. It's been so much guys hating on our own fighters. It's been so many guys that don't get back to our amateur programs, don't want to get back and help the kids. These dudes are millionaires. You telling me y'all can't fund the amateur programs, man, the Olympic team, and help these dudes and get these dudes pointers, man. And Andre Ward just gave words of encouragement. And this ain't the only time he gave it this year either. He giving words of encouragement. He's changing fighters' lives, not financially and thinking he owns them. He's changing fighters' lives by putting perspective, by putting positive vibes in the air. He's changing fighters' lives without his money and with his words and how he conducted himself outside of the square circle, man. So I commend Andre Ward. Salute to Andre Ward. Shout out to everybody holding us down like, whoa. Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget, we on Facebook. You want to get at me. The link's in the description. Still the Boxing Clinic on there. And also, you can DM me there for the video request or email me as well. I'll open up my email to everybody. Got the notification gang on. So check us out. Appreciate it. One time for the one time. We gone.